Good morning. I was asked to explain to you what gives me joy, mostly from All Saints. So I'll give you a little history. About 30 years ago, we've been coming up here, our family, for about 30 years, and Jeff and I built our little retirement house here, and we moved here from Nashua about 7 years ago. And I'll tell you, when we decided to come, I came for Jeff, because Jeff really wanted to live up here, and I was the city slicker. So I was willing to stay in Nashua, but I said Jeff really wanted to come, so I came. And it's the best thing I did, because I feel like for the first time in many, many years, I belong somewhere, and I belong here with you guys. So I thank you for that. But I thought about it, and I sat in my chair, and I listed all the things that bring me joy. But I decided it would take way too long to tell you about them all. So I'm only going to introduce you to 3 things here that bring me joy. As you all know, the summer fair brings me great joy. I remember a few years ago, I was at a book read in Wolfboro, and Phil came up to me. And he said, can I have a moment with you? And I went, okay, I learned my lesson there. And I said, okay, and he asked me to be a co-chair for the summer fair. Well, I said, Phil, I can't do that. I've never been to the fair. So we all know how that went. And I'm still very thankful for Phil for sort of pushing me into taking this role. So now you want to know what makes it so wonderful and joyful for me. I love the fair because really what it is just a major recycling effort. We take items that come from all over the community, we clean them, we sort them, we throw some out, we move some to the swap shop, and then we put them out for people to purchase at prices that maybe they couldn't have purchased it at. We also send things off to charity, and we've helped so many people who didn't have things. So that's a great part of the fair. I love, believe it or not, spending 6 weeks sorting downstairs with all of us. What I find is that during that time, we have a lot of laughs. We have some silly stuff happening because my husband Jeff acts up on the toy table often, and we have to say, just ignore him, else he'll get worse. But, and then we have a lot of time talking, just getting to know each other. It's a wonderful time spending that 6 weeks there. I especially enjoy the magic of the fair. It seems like the first time I did this, I was horrified. I was thinking, how's this all going to work? And it just sort of magically happens. What was I going to say? Let me think. I know it's a lot of hard work, so it's not really magic. But to me, it just is a wonderful experience. So what I'm trying to say, I guess, is if you aren't active in the fair, if you haven't tried joining us at the fair, please do. Before I did this, I knew very few people here, and now I feel like you're all my family. So join us with the fair. The next thing I did to pick to talk about was women's worship. Women's worship brings me great joy. I initially began attending women's worship a couple years ago because I heard they were praying for my son. So I went because I wanted to thank these wonderful women for praying for my son. We start Tuesday early with these very prayerful women, and we pray for each other, we pray for our children, we pray for all of you. It's just a nice way to start Tuesday morning. But it's also a nice way to laugh at the wee hours of the morning, because we do. You can come in and hear us laughing and chatting as well. It's a wonderful experience. When I'm not able to get to women's worship, at 6:30 in the morning, I can sit quietly and know that I'm saying a prayer from afar with my friends that are praying together. So again, I say 6:30 is a little ungodly as the hour, but if it's uncomfortable for you, try it anyways, because you may find out, to your surprise, that it's a treasured time of the day. So I invite you to join us there. So the last thing I'll talk to you about is I love getting down on my hands and knees, tending the plants and pulling weeds. It brings me great joy. I love working in the Memorial Garden with Jeff and many of you. Alone weeding in the garden gives me time to sit there quietly and think about and pray to the people who have gone before us. I enjoy just sitting in the interment bed weeding. I also enjoy making the garden area a beautiful place and peaceful place for people to come and sit and think and pray and talk to their loved ones who are there. But as you all know, I also love laughing, I love telling stories, and I love talking. And Bill came by the other day when we were working in the garden, and he put down his window and he said to us, "Hey, aren't you guys supposed to be working?" But besides working, we enjoy each other. We have a fun time. There's a group of folks who come in the spring and the fall and help clean it up or set it up. And so what I say is, it's great to get to know people. It's great to sit there at peace in the quiet, but it's great to just be together and do this for the community. So I invite you too. If you like digging in the dirt, please come and join us. I guess what I try to say is the best thing that gives me joy is serving others. So I guess that does it. Yep.